The San Antonio Spurs took care of business, blowing out the Mavs in Game 7 to move on in the playoffs. The San Antonio Spurs absolutely dominated the Dallas Mavericks in Game 7 on Sunday afternoon. The game was never close as Greg Popovich and company steamrolled Dirk Nowitzki's Mavs by a final score of 119 over 96 to move on to the second round. The Spurs got off to a scorching start, shooting 13 of 19 from the floor and scoring 35 points in the first quarter. Tony Parker poured in 14 points as San Antonio jumped out to an early lead. Parker finished the game with 32 points and 4 assists. Unfortunately for the Mavs, the Spurs' hot start didn't stop after the first quarter. San Antonio continued to light it up from all over the court and eventually built its biggest lead of the series at 51-27 with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. In typical Spurs fashion, they got contributions from everybody. It wasn't just one player having a monster game, but rather constant ball movement to get easy layups and wide-open jumpers. Dirk Nowitzki has done this before, but the reason the Mavs find themselves in a Game 7 against the top-ranked Spurs is because of his crew. Vince Carter has hit big shots through 6 games, and DeJuan Blair recovered from a 1-game suspension for kicking Thiago Splitter in the face to take a 10-point, 14-rebound, 4-block performance to his former squad. San Antonio of course won't fold under the pressure, but it has not been consistently able to hold down Dallas. It's hard to stop the Mavs when the Spurs don't know what's coming. Offensively, consistency has been an issue for young Kawhi Leonard and veteran Manu Ginobili. Tony Parker has scored in the 20s in the past 2 games, and center Thiago Splitter has been as important as any, but the Spurs need a little more from someone. And a little more defense. This game was competitive for roughly 3 minutes and then everything after that was a complete beatdown. The Spurs got whatever they wanted on offense and the Mavs couldn't get any momentum whatsoever. By the end of the first half, the Spurs led 68-46. San Antonio also shot 68.4% from the field in the first 2 quarters. The Mavericks made a run to start the second half and were able to get the lead down to just 14 points as they trailed 75-61 midway through the third quarter. Devin Harris and Vince Carter helped Dallas close the gap. Harris finished the game with 17 points and 3 assists. Dirk Nowitzki had a rough game, scoring 22 points on just 8 of 21 shooting. But in the end, this game was all about San Antonio. The Mavs just didn't have enough to come all the way back and the Spurs opened up a 30-point lead in the fourth quarter. Tim Duncan finished with 15 points and 8 rebounds. Manu Ginobili added 20 points in 24 minutes. Clearly, Greg Popovich was very excited about all of this.